Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patsun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/slash cheating stories, where karma really is a bitch. Let's begin. Our first story is from a deleted Reddit user.
I met my ex-girlfriend in the middle school that we both went to, and I found out from some friends that she secretly had a crush on me. I ended having feelings for her too, and we eventually started dating. We dated for 6 years, and I was constantly ridiculed for dating her, and was constantly told that she was cheating on me, and I was too young and innocent to believe any of it. We ended up breaking up for a bit in high school, but got back together after a week. We resumed dating and dating for 3 more years up until a year after she graduated. She was a year below me. I loved her very much and wanted to start my life with her. I figured she was going to end up being my wife someday and eventually be the mother of my children. About a year before the breakup, I was introduced to her gay friend Leo, who just so happened to be of the same ethnicity as her. I was not. I thought nothing of it and decided not to look into it too much, considering he was gay, or so I was told. Coincidentally, we both shared the same birthday, just a year apart, which made our birthdays all the more special. About a month before our birthdays, my girlfriend decides to take a trip with her cousins to Chicago for the weekend, which is a close drive from where we live. All she said was she needed some girls' time and a break from everything. To me, it was just another weekend, and she decided to go have some fun with her cousins in downtown Chicago. This was normal to me, considering that her and her family go to Chicago all the time. That Sunday night, I hadn't heard anything from her, so I tried to call her and I got no response. So I texted her asking if everything was okay. I received a texted back saying, "I was serious. I need a break from you." I was confused and at a loss for words, as I had thought the weekend with family meant just a break from doing stuff at home. I called her multiple times to get an explanation, and she basically laughed it off and acted like I was bothering her. Keep in mind, we had been dating for 6 years at this point, so this was a shock to me, and I was very upset. I drove to her house, which was a mile away from mine, and tried to have a conversation with her about what was going on. She proceeded to break up with me and tell my parents I wanted to send myself to the shadow realm for some reason. I was heartbroken, but she assured me she just needed time and we would eventually get back together. One time I happened to be at Walmart grabbing some items, and I see her car parked in the Walmart parking lot, right next to her gay friend's Jeep. I call her furious and demand an explanation, where she again brushes me off and tells me that we're not together anymore. I'm heartbroken for months. How could the girl of my dreams, the one who I loved so much and had a perfect relationship with, do this to our relationship? For months, I would cry myself to sleep, thinking I'd be alone forever. Come to find out, her gay friend was never gay, and she was having sex with him while we were dating. It felt like my heart was ripped out of my body. I felt emotionless. Life was dull and gray, just like the scene in Inside Out where Riley loses all of her core memories and loses all emotion. I felt like I could never trust anyone again. Fast forward about a year and a half, and she had been in a relationship with gay friend all this time and was expecting a baby at the ripe age of 19. Now we skip to present day where her baby daddy cheated on her and left her as a single mother with no job, no friends, and more importantly, no father and significant other. She has contacted my family members and made TikToks about me trying to get back with me, but to no avail. I have been together with my current girlfriend for about a year, and I love her more than anything, and our relationship is perfect. I don't know if it was the universe or God or whoever that answered my prayers, but in the end, karma is a bitch. This is all true, by the way. Thanks for reading.
Our second story is from Reddit user JoePack10.
My girlfriend of 4 years is in her out-of-state graduate program. We lived together in the city where we met, so we both moved for her schooling, which would be a year in another state starting in late 2023. My job is remote, so I was able to swing it. Her schooling was tough. She would leave at 6 a.m. and return at 9 p.m., would barely eat and have no time for herself. This caused a pretty big divide between us, since we weren't able to spend quality time together. Late 2023. The quality time I did get was spent asking about how she's doing and the new people she's met. One of these people is named Douchebag. He is married with children. Throughout the following weeks, I start to notice her constantly messaging Douchebag, Not that big of a deal, but it was weird that she was constantly messaging him in particular. I met douchebag around this time. I was out of town, and I was informed that my girlfriend was out with her classmates. Douchebag got handsy with women at the bar. My girlfriend was also pulled aside alone by douchebag and told that he has cheated on his wife 3 times and he hasn't told her. This set off my alarm, and I informed my girlfriend of my concern that no man would just say that to someone with no remorse and in private without a motive. I didn't want to be controlling, so I politely asked that she try and limit one-on-one non-school related contact with douchebag, or at least let me know if he's going to be around and keep communication open. She says she was completely okay with that deal. Through slip-ups in speech of her or her friends, I discover that she has gone to lunch one-on-one with douchebag and been to his house after class multiple times with no mention to me despite our conversation. I confront her about this multiple times, trying not to be overbearing, but it felt like a direct counter to my trust in her. Early 2024. I am out of town and get a notification that someone is at the door. I open the notification and see a video of douchebag walking into my home. I text my girlfriend and she lies about the situation, saying she's home alone. I get home and we have a huge fight where she makes up stories that contradict the video evidence. She eventually settled on that she invited him over to play with our dog. I cannot prove this wrong, so I go with it, but let her know that he is not to enter my home without me there, and if he does, there will be problems. Present day September 2024. Since this time, we have been better than ever. She was finishing up her year of school and getting excited. We suddenly had so much more quality time, and it was like night and day for our relationship. Her language, when talking about douchebag, shifted to a more negative tone. I might be naive, but I thought making it through such a rough time and coming out the other side okay meant that we could tackle almost anything. This is the kind of woman I want to be with. We talked about marriage, asking her parents' blessing, and been to a ring store. We are not back in the city where we met, far from her school and douchebag. I woke up Sunday, made some coffee, and sat at my desk. My girlfriend sits across the room from me and starts crying, saying that she's so sorry. She admits to me that she had sex with douchebag in November 2023. I couldn't believe it, and I demanded more details. He approached her at their schoolhouse late one night and started talking about his unhappiness with his wife and asked my girlfriend about our relationship. He said something along the lines of, "I brought this up to you before, but I've cheated 3 times and it actually made my marriage better. I was able to see things that I couldn't before. I'm here if you ever want to do something like that." He opened the door and she walked right in. I pack a bag and leave. I write notes to myself to articulate how I'm feeling and decided that ending things is the best option. I come back to the house and let her know that we're over and tell her about what I'm feeling. She tries to argue, but her words fall flat and she doesn't really take responsibility for what she's done. I prod and ask if it was just once, and it wasn't. They did it several times. She is staying with her parents this week, after following her to another state, taking care of our pets and home while she was in school, being her anchor when things got rough for her, and signing a new lease after it all. I was met with this. I'm filled with sadness and anger. I keep playing out the cheating on repeat in my head. I'm not really sure what to do with myself. She is trying to work things out and stay together, and I can't help but picture the memories we have and the culture we've built between us. Am I making the right decision? Should I contact douchebag or his wife? TLDR, longtime girlfriend, cheated several times and didn't tell me for almost a year. Only did so because of external pressure of marriage. Need advice or assurance? Edit. Wow, this has really blown up. I found this sub this morning when I woke up in total sadness and turned to the internet for advice. I just want you all to know that I appreciate every one of your responses, whether it's advice or encouragement. Thank you for helping me through this. The most important step a man can take is the next one. Always the next one.
Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.